In the world of insects, size does not determine who is strongest. Among branches, tree trunks, and grass swaying gently in the breeze, life and death continue quietly in succession. Some hunts are over in the blink of an eye. Some hunts begin with waiting. And there is one species that chooses to make stillness itself a weapon. Sometimes what steps into that trap is far larger than anyone would imagine. Under the early morning sun, the grassland ripples in waves. Among a cluster of flowers by a stream, a bee lands to drink nectar without noticing that the flower beside it has just turned its head. A flattened, glittering body with forelegs, spread like open petals, gives the orchid mantis perfect camouflage, its gaze continuously tracking the bee's every movement. When the bee lands on the flower right beside it, less than 2 centimeters away, the forelegs folded tight to the chest part slightly, the compound eyes rotate 180 degrees and lock precisely onto the prey's position. The moment the bee bows its head to drink nectar, those forelegs snap out in an instant, the sharp spines closing around the body. The bee's wings beat frantically a few times, then go still. The mantis brings the prey to its mouth, small jaws grinding through the chitin shell until only the thin wings remain, slowly falling down through the grass. A clean end to the first hunt of the day. After eating, it cleans its forelegs with its mouth, then sways gently with the leaf rhythm, blending back into the vegetation. Compound eyes still catching the rhythm of every movement on the surrounding branches. A few meters away, a small lizard crawls along a tree trunk without noticing that above it, the predator has already begun tracking its every step. In the midday sun, a green leaf mantis, roughly half the lizard size, sways its body like a real leaf, quietly sending movement signals to draw prey closer. The distance narrows to just 3 centimeters. The lizard finally notices the strange movement ahead. It freezes, studies the opponent carefully, then slowly lowers its head. The tongue is about to fire, but before the lizard can act, the mantis has already struck first. The folding forelegs snap down over the head before the tongue can retract. The lizard thrashes violently, but the grip locked around its head prevents any effective counterattack. Repeated bites begin targeting the soft tissue around the edges of the mouth. Channeling every remaining ounce of strength, the lizard wrenches hard and flings the mantis off the branch, breaking one of its hind legs. But the opening lasts only a moment. The mantis lunges again. The second lock is more decisive. Having fully subdued the prey, the mantis begins using its jaws to chew through the body, piece by piece, methodically consuming the opponent. The previous hunts all had a stable foothold, but this time, the mantis must hold its prey in midair, where a hummingbird hovers with wing beats at 70 times per second. In a tropical garden covered in red and violet blooms, a tiny body hovers before a nectar feeder, wings blurring into a haze in the sunlight. On the leaf, the green shadow has remained motionless for many hours. It lost one leg in this morning's hunt, but the front legs are still intact and folded tight against its chest, waiting. The hummingbird moves closer, its hum vibrating softly in the air. It dips its beak into the flower's center, into the nectar, just under 1 centimeter from the already parting forelegs. The moment it tastes the sweetness, the forelegs snap closed around the bird's neck, spines driving through thin feathers, sending the animal into a panic that pulls both off their position and into a spin through open air. Both fall into the shrubs below, where the final struggle ends. The mantis pins the prey down, pulling away small pieces through the thin feather layer. 2 hours later, only a few traces remain on the leaves. The wind will carry the last fragments away. The mantis will clean its forelegs, and it will turn toward the next prey. The previous prey were all smaller or comparable in size. But this time, the opponent is far longer, has sharp fangs, and attacks first, pushing the mantis into a reactive position. In low tropical shrubs under harsh sunlight, a green vine snake glides across a branch, tongue flickering for scent, but the smell of leaves masks the ambushed predator above. The snake stops beneath the branch, raises its head to probe the area, then detects movement. It lunges upward and bites one of the mantis's legs, opening a counterattack. The mantis bites back at the snake, but the snake's skin is too tough, so the mantis drops its prey onto a dry branch and escapes, leaving the mantis standing motionless on the tree. But the greatest danger does not come from prey. It comes from its own kind. The breeding season forces the male to approach a female much larger than itself, carrying those lethal hunting forelegs. The female mantis stands on a high branch, abdomen swelling with eggs. Below, a male half her size advances slowly from behind to stay out of her dangerous reach. Each step forward is broken by pauses to observe which direction the female's head is turned. The moment her head turns back, the male immediately freezes, is blending into the branch. 10 minutes pass. The male is now pressed close behind. He waits for the female to lower her head to feed, then immediately climbs onto her back, mating beginning amid the risk of being torn apart. A few minutes later, the female's head suddenly swings back. The hunting forelegs snap shut in an instant, closing down over the head of the mate trying to escape. The male wrenches hard trying to break free, but the size disadvantage leaves him unable to move. The female begins consuming the head, while the lower body continues its reflex mating motions by instinct. Half an hour later, the remaining body parts will become the final protein source nourishing the growing eggs, turning the mate into a meal before laying begins. Among the branches, the female folds her forelegs close to her chest, abdomen swelling steadily with developing eggs. In the days ahead, she will find a suitable dry branch, wrap the next generation into an egg case, and leave. The ootheca slowly hardens under the sun, becoming a shield against weather and danger. But the body that formed it will not live long enough to see the day the eggs hatch. Many weeks later, her movements slow. A column of ants approaches the mother mantis. A body that survived countless hunts, finally brought still beneath an army. Above on the branch, the egg case still clings in place. Inside, hundreds of eggs are growing, protected by the last shield the mother left behind. A few weeks later, the foam casing splits open. Hundreds of mantis nymphs clamber over each other and emerge at once, hunting forelegs already folded and the first hunger already rising. And the first meal is not aphids, it is their own siblings. The faster ones immediately lock onto the necks of those beside them, opening a wave of cannibalism from the very first minute. Of the hundreds that emerge at once, numbers drop sharply within the first hour. The survivors scatter in every direction, leaving behind the first battlefield of their lives. But the grassland is also full of danger. Birds, lizards, and spiders continuously hunt every small movement, keeping the survival chain in constant reversal and swallowing the weak. Fewer than 1 in 10 survive the first week, but each survivor has already passed its first molt, body harder, longer, with forelegs beginning to resemble the mother's. On the old branch, the egg case is now empty, the shell slowly weathering in sun and wind. Below the tree, ants have cleaned away every trace, as though nothing ever existed. On the branch beside it, a nymph that has molted twice stands motionless, forelegs folded close to its chest, body swaying with the wind, compound eyes sweeping the leaf surface below. Compound eyes reflecting the late-day sun, forelegs folded against the chest, motionless, silent, waiting, as every generation before it has done. The first rays of dawn shine down on the Serengeti grasslands. A new day begins at the heart of Africa. Here, millions of creatures coexist in a complex ecological network, where predator and prey, strong and weak, intertwine their fates. But not all make their living by strength. Some have chosen another path, the path of opportunists. This is the story of Africa's most notorious thieves, those who survive on the fruits of others' labor. Spotted hyenas, Crocuta crocuta, can reach weights up to 70 kilograms, living in clans ranging from 10 to 80 individuals. With the strongest jaws among African carnivores. But 80% of their food comes from scavenging. They track other hunters like leopards and cheetahs, patiently waiting for the right opportunity. Spotted hyena's tactic is patience. One hyena may lose, but the whole clan is different. Numbers are weapons. Their calls echo across grasslands, summoning teammates. A leopard just brought down a stray antelope and prepares to drag prey up a tree, but it's too late. But just patiently waiting, creating continuous psychological pressure. The leopard gradually exhausts and must make a choice: abandon prey or face the entire clan. Finally, survival instinct prevailed. Within just 2 minutes, the antelope carcass completely disappears. Meat, skin, and bones all consumed. This is not cruelty, but survival efficiency. African wild dogs, like Caon pictus, currently number only about 6,000 individuals in the wild and are classified as endangered. Unlike hyenas, they are professional hunters with hunt success rates up to 80%, highest among terrestrial carnivores. However, when opportunity presents, they're also ready to steal prey, especially when lions have eaten their fill and left. Speed is the key advantage. They rush in quickly, take remaining portions, and retreat before other rivals can react. Black-backed jackals, Canis mesomelas, are much smaller and lighter than other carnivores at only about 10 kilograms, but compensate with high intelligence and flexibility. They live in pairs or small groups, not strong enough to confront directly, so choose another strategy, waiting in shadows. Night is their activity time, when large hunters rest. They silently approach, searching for leftovers. A bone fragment, a bit of meat, not much, but enough to sustain life. That's the survival art of the small. In African skies exists another opportunist group, vultures, distant relatives of eagles, African white-backed vultures, Gyps africanus, with wingspans up to 2.5 meters and vision about 8 times stronger than humans, allowing them to detect carcasses from altitudes up to 4,000 meters. They don't hunt, but soar in the air, patiently observing all movements below. When an animal falls, vultures are the first to notice. They swoop down quickly, in numbers up to dozens, even hundreds. The scene is not beautiful, but necessary. They clean the savanna, prevent disease spread, a role no species can replace. Beneath the water surface, another opportunist waits. Nile crocodile, Crocodilus niloticus. Bodies up to 6 meters long, weighing nearly 1 ton and living over 100 years, they're considered living fossils, existing from over 200 million years ago. Possessing the strongest bite force among terrestrial creatures, but crocodiles aren't just active hunters. They also track other predators. When a leopard brings down an antelope near the riverbank, that could be a fatal mistake. In an instant, it lunges, yanking prey into water. The leopard can only stand stunned as the meal disappears before its eyes. Underwater, crocodiles perform the death roll, violent spinning to tear prey into pieces. Efficient, brutal, but true to survival nature. And then there are lions, Panthera leo, often called kings of the savanna. But even kings have secrets. Lionesses are the main hunters, bringing back up to 80% of the pride's food. But the question is, who eats first? Male lions, weighing nearly double lionesses. They approach, push lionesses aside, and eat first. Privilege of the strong. This is not cruelty. but biological order. Male lions defend territory, face other rivals, and need large energy sources to survive. However, in many cases, male lions are also true opportunists. They don't hunt directly, but wander, seeking the right moment. A cheetah just brought down an antelope, the fastest land animal, but after the chase, it's nearly exhausted. A male lion smells blood and steps out from grass. The cheetah recognizes danger, but it's too late to flee. No confrontation. The cheetah must abandon hours of hunting effort while the lion claims victory without fighting. That's the savanna's law. Size determines power. But the cycle doesn't stop. When lions eat their fill and leave, others successively appear. Hyenas return. Wild dogs approach. From above, vultures swoop down. Jackals sneak in shadows. Each species takes its share. Nothing is wasted. Every bone, every piece of skin, every drop of blood has value and is utilized. Finally, only dried bloodstains remain on grass. The next day, grass will grow green again. The cycle continues. No winners, no losers. That's how the African savanna operates. No fairness or right and wrong, only survival and ability to seize opportunities. Hyenas, wild dogs, jackals, vultures, crocodiles, and lions all are opportunists and all are survivors. In this ecosystem, no role is small. Each species assumes a specific function, from hunter to cleaner. All are necessary. Yet, in the past 3 decades, African vulture numbers have dropped up to 80%. Hyenas gradually lose habitat. Wild dogs number only about 6,000 individuals in the wild. In 2026, humanity stands at a crossroads. Protect these so-called thieves, or lose the entire system they maintain. Each opportunist has a role. Each behavior has a function. They don't steal, they recycle, they regulate, they keep life continuing. The African savanna, where rules are written by nature, where each creature finds ways to survive in its own way. Some call them thieves, some call them opportunists, but nature doesn't judge. Nature only maintains balance. And in that balanced state, these thieves hold an irreplaceable role. Not heroes or villains, simply part of life. Because on this land, there's only one truth. To survive, sometimes you must hunt, sometimes you must wait, and sometimes you just need to appear at the right moment. This is Africa, where each day is a survival lesson, where opportunists also become teachers, teaching about adaptation, patience, and the art of existence. And in that lesson, there's a message for humanity. In nature, there are no bad guys, only creatures trying to live by any means possible. Therefore, when mentioning Africa's thieves, remember they don't steal, they survive. And that very survival has kept Africa forever vibrant. From grasslands to rivers, from ground to sky, each ecosystem layer has guardians, cleaners, and creatures recycling life. Africa, land of wonders, where each creature, whether large or small, hunter or thief, has a role in life's grand symphony. In the heart of Africa, where morning light touches ancient tree canopies, nature is not just a survival battle, it's also an exquisite drama of adaptation. Strange behaviors, unexpected alliances, tactics that science still cannot fully decode. From tropical rainforests to arid grasslands, life has evolved along complex paths that humans have only begun to observe and understand. These are stories about intelligence, about perseverance, and about secrets that wild nature still silently keeps. In Queen Elizabeth National Park, Uganda, there's a phenomenon that even zoologists were once surprised by. Lions, Panthera leo, the species we know as ground dominators. But here, they climb trees. Not just a few individuals, but entire prides. They lie draped across thin branches, over 5 meters above ground. For an adult lion weighing nearly 200 kilograms, this is abnormal behavior. So why do they do this? The first reason is to avoid tsetse flies and blood-sucking insects. Up high, the wind blows cooler, and there are fewer insects. The second reason is observation. From elevated positions, lions can see prey from afar and monitor competing rivals. And the third reason is cultural adaptation. Lion cubs learn this behavior from their mothers. This is knowledge passed through generations. Not all lions can do this. Only individuals in Ishasha. The environment has shaped this unique behavior. Lions lying in trees, looking down at the world below, like kings without thrones, but still ruling. This is proof that even species that have dominated for millions of years can still change to survive. In the heart of Africa and South America, where rivers can disappear completely, there's a miraculous creature called the lungfish. Lungfish, Protopterus annectans, have existed for over 400 million years. They are living fossils of evolution. When dry season comes and water depletes, most fish species will die. But lungfish have a different strategy. They dig a burrow in mud, curl up, and begin secreting a mucus layer surrounding their body. This mucus layer dries to form a protective cocoon. Inside, lungfish switch to breathing with lungs instead of gills. This state is called estivation. Heart rate slows. Metabolism reduces to minimum levels. They can survive like this for many years. When rainwater returns, the first drops seep into the cocoon. Lungfish begin to wake. The mucus layer dissolves. Within hours, the fish can swim again, as if time never passed. This is absolute survival ability. Proof that life can exist even in the harshest conditions. In the Miombo forests of southern Africa, a strange relationship has existed for thousands of years. It's the symbiosis between honey-guide birds and honey badgers. Honey-guide birds, indicator, are small birds with gray-brown plumage, but their abilities far exceed that modest appearance. They can locate wild beehives from hundreds of meters away, but alone, honey-guide birds cannot break through the hard shell of beehives. And this is when the companion appears. Honey badger, Mellivora capensis, one of the most fearless animals on the planet. When honey-guide birds emit their distinctive calls, honey badgers understand that honey is nearby. An alliance begins. Birds fly from branch to branch, continuously signaling directions. Below, honey badgers silently follow, each step slow and patient. Upon reaching the hive, honey badgers use extremely strong claws to tear apart the protective layer. Their thick skin is barely affected by stings. Honey badgers take the honey and larvae. Honey-guide birds wait, and when honey badgers leave, they eat the remaining beeswax pieces. For honey-guide birds, beeswax is a valuable nutrient that few bird species can digest. This is the reward for cooperation. A wordless alliance passed down by instinct has existed long before humans began observing and recording. On the vast grasslands of Africa, a pack of wild dogs is preparing for a hunt, but not immediately. African wild dogs, Lycaon pictus, are excellent hunters with success rates up to 80%. Before each hunt, they organize a social gathering. Individuals run around each other, touch muzzles, create excited sounds. But the most notable thing is not the calls, but the sneezes. And this is not random. Researchers have discovered that wild dogs use sneezing as a form of voting, nature's referendum. This is clear evidence of an organized society where decisions don't come from a single individual, but are formed by the collective. When enough votes are collected, the wild dog pack immediately switches to action, racing into grasslands at speeds reaching 60 kilometers per hour. Their target is impala antelope. The chase lasts many minutes, requiring precise and synchronized coordination. No individual acts alone. Each assumes a specific role. This is the power of consensus. Beneath murky water, a crocodile appears like a harmless piece of rotting wood. Perfect camouflage art helps it disappear completely before prey's eyes. Bats swoop down to the river surface to drink. They don't know that hundreds of pressure-sensing organs on crocodile skin are silently tracking. An explosive strike. The crocodile lunges at 12 meters per second, utilizing jaw force of thousands of PSI to finish the target in an instant. The life-death boundary just established through a perfect ambush. The river quiets again, continuing to conceal the assassin beneath the duckweed layer. From unexpected alliances to extraordinary survival tactics, wild nature never stops surprising. These strange behaviors are not abnormalities. They are evidence of adaptation, of intelligence, of the will to live. Each species carries its own story, and each creature holds an irreplaceable role in the grand picture of life on Earth. But by 2026, many of these natural behaviors are gradually disappearing as habitats increasingly shrink. Conservation is not just preserving species. It's preserving unique behaviors, knowledge passed through generations. Because when a species disappears, we don't just lose a creature, we lose the secrets that nature is still trying to tell. East African savanna. Dawn has not yet broken. A new day begins like any other. But in this world, no day is truly like another. This is a land where every species is a link in the chain. Today's hunter can be tomorrow's prey. That order is not fixed. It changes by the hour, by each decision. And among all those species, There's one often underestimated, not the largest, not the fastest, but the one with the most complex social organization. This is the story of encounters, of losses, and of what happens after, when the hunter becomes the hunted. Baboons, the largest primate in southern Africa. Adult males weigh 25 to 45 kilograms. Canines up to 5 centimeters long, longer than lion canines, proportionate to body size. Baboon troops can reach 200 individuals. Within the troop, there's clear hierarchy. Large males protect the outer ring. Females and young stay at the center. They're omnivorous, from fruits and roots to insects and small reptiles, even newborn antelope when opportunity arises. This flexibility helps them survive many challenges. But in their habitat, every foraging day carries risk. Tall trees, open grassland, riverbanks, each terrain has its own predators. Morning, the troop spreads out foraging near sparse acacia woodland. A young male, about 3 years old, separates from the group, chasing prey by instinct. Not far away, a leopard has spotted the young baboon, the most perfect hunter in Africa in terms of stealth and terrain versatility. Leopards don't move, make no sound. They can lie motionless for hours, waiting for prey to come within striking range. The young male runs through the ambushed predator's line of sight. He doesn't know death is right beside him, about to claim his life. A leap erupts. At maximum speed, the leopard allows no mistakes. It quickly seizes the young male. The baboon can't react. That moment ends faster than any description can convey. This is nature's truth, not cruelty. But the baboon troop isn't far. And in baboon troops, every call carries information. The alarm call, leopard attacking. Within seconds, the entire troop's behavior transforms completely. No longer individuals foraging separately. All move in one direction, one objective. The leopard has a choice: climb the tree with prey or abandon it and escape. But the troop arrives too fast. Large males weighing 40 kilograms, 5-centimeter canines, and most important of all, they come together. This is no longer individual confrontation. The leopard decides in an instant, abandons the kill and flees. This is the right choice. Being isolated by a baboon troop is extremely dangerous. The troop doesn't pursue. They understand it's futile. Instead, the group quickly restores order and minimizes loss. Days later, another threat, another species, lions. A pride of 4 lionesses moves into the area where the troop is foraging on a quiet morning. The response to lions is completely different from the response to leopards. Leopards are threats from above. Lions are threats on the ground. From above, The troop observes. They call loudly so the lions know they've been detected. In the hunting world, losing the element of surprise means losing the greatest advantage. The lion pride passes without stopping. To lions, baboons and trees aren't priority targets, but young ones on the ground are different. One lioness separates from the pride, lying hidden in tall grass near where the troop gathers to drink. She's been observing, and she's waiting for a young one to stray. A young baboon runs farther than the others. The lioness charges, faster than any reaction can intervene. The young baboon has no chance. The troop reacts immediately but doesn't approach. They know lions aren't leopards. A lion's strength and speed on the ground don't allow that. A 130-kilogram lioness on open ground isn't an opponent the troop can effectively surround. They know this. But baboons don't forget. Research documents that this species can remember individuals of other species, especially those that have harmed the troop. The next day, Limpopo River. The troop comes to drink along their familiar route. Below the murky water, crocodiles wait for careless prey. In the troop, young ones typically drink at positions closest to shore. But riverbanks don't always allow ideal formation. A young baboon bends to drink. In an instant, the water erupts. No warning, no prior sound. A technique refined over millions of years. No chance for the young baboon. Nile crocodiles with bite force around 5,000 psi and reflexes under 0.1 seconds leave no gap. The troop remains at the water's edge. A few males just watch and roar. That behavior doesn't change the outcome, but shows social structure doesn't easily dissolve after loss. Then they leave. Order is re-established in heavy silence. Ahead still lies grassland, where risk and opportunity always coexist. A week later, the lioness pride returns, bringing 2 cubs about 6 weeks old. When the mothers leave to hunt, the 2 lie beneath low tree cover. Baboons discover this before we realize. From the tree branches, the lion mothers have gone far. 2 lion cubs lie alone. What follows is neither pure predation nor defense. Researchers call it redirected accumulated aggression, a complex social response. A male baboon picks up the lion cub, not frantically, just carries it and gradually climbs higher. The cub is completely helpless in this situation. At that height, the lion cub cannot survive a fall. A 6-week-old skeletal system isn't strong enough to withstand impact from over 15 meters. The lion mother returns quickly, roaring beneath the canopy, but climbing isn't her capability. Vertical distance is an absolute limit. The male baboon looks down and releases his grip, a behavior documented in primate studies in South Africa as a form of redirected accumulated aggression. He leaves by another route, not looking back. The troop regroups and continues moving. No ceremony, only cold continuation. In nature, good and evil don't exist. Only strategies selected through evolution, shaped by social memory and survival pressure. Chakma baboons still maintain large populations, but shrinking habitat and increasing urban conflict pose new challenges. When dusk falls, they climb the tallest acacia trees, choosing height as their shield. Tomorrow repeats, like every survival cycle. Afternoon sunlight illuminates the Serengeti grasslands. Dry grass glows golden under temperatures of 35 degrees Celsius, a typical day in the heart of Africa. Here, every meal must be contested. Predator and prey, robber and robbed. The line between success and failure is very fragile. Two predator species are about to collide. One side is a warrior with deadly weapons. One side is an opportunistic thief who will claim victory. This is the story of an unexpected encounter, when a plan to steal prey becomes a battle to the death, when instinct decides survival. The secretary bird is one of Africa's most unique birds of prey. They stand over 1 meter tall and have a wingspan of nearly 2 meters. The name comes from the black feathers behind the head, resembling quill pens tucked behind a secretary's ear in olden times. But this bird is anything but gentle. They hunt snakes, large lizards, rodents, insects, but venomous snakes are their favorite. They have a unique hunting technique: kick prey to death. Long legs, sharp curved talons, specially developed leg muscles. A kick can generate force of nearly 20 kilograms, enough to crush the bones of venomous snakes. Serval, also called grassland wildcat, smaller than spotted leopards but larger than house cats. They weigh about 9 to 18 kilograms. The largest ears in the cat family relative to body size, superhuman hearing, can hear mice moving underground. Long legs, highest leg-to-body ratio in the cat family. It can jump up to 3 meters high and achieves a hunting success rate of about 50%. But today, the serval isn't hunting. It's seeking opportunity, stealing prey from others, conserving energy, increasing survival efficiency. The secretary bird has just found a snake, puff adder, venomous, dangerous. But to the secretary bird, this is a good meal. The snake rears its head, opens its mouth threateningly, ready to inject venom. But the secretary bird has faced such situations countless times. A kick shoots out lightning fast, precise, strikes the snake's head directly. It writhes violently, but isn't dead yet. Another kick, then another. The snake lies motionless. The secretary bird bends down to check the prey. Victory is clear. but in the grass. Another is watching silently. The serval presses itself flat to the ground. It moves slowly, each step separated by several seconds. No sound. Every movement is calculated. It weighs options quickly. The bird is taller, heavier, and has extremely powerful legs. But that fat snake is a valuable protein source. It steps slowly forward, not to hunt the bird, but to steal the prey, a familiar tactic of an opportunistic hunter. The secretary bird reacts immediately. Defensive instinct flares. It clamps the snake tightly in its beak and won't let go. This prey belongs to it. It spreads its wings nearly 2 meters wide, creating a large visual wall. The goal is to make the cat back down, a familiar defensive tactic. The serval backs away a few steps, but doesn't leave. It circles slowly, eyes still locked on target, patiently waiting for a moment of vulnerability. It lunges again, testing the bird's powerful legs. Claws touch wing feathers, but still not enough to steal the snake. The snake falls to the ground, but the conflict has now gone beyond food. No longer a dispute over prey. This is a battle. The secretary bird unleashes the first kick, lightning fast. Nearly 20 kilograms of force in an instant, misses the cat's head by just a few centimeters. The serval dodges quickly. Reflexes of a born hunter, it lunges, trying to bite the bird's knee joint to neutralize the dangerous legs. The bird jumps back. Second kick hits the cat's shoulder, not strong enough to cause serious injury, but enough to cause pain. An accurate kick could shatter the serval's jaw, ending its hunting ability forever. Therefore, the cat must strike very fast and precisely. The serval lunges again, this time lowering its body. It pounces on the secretary bird's chest area. Claws dig deep, pulling the bird down. The secretary bird struggles violently. Wings beat on hard, creating wind currents that send dust flying. It tries to kick, but the serval has latched too close for the strike to be effective. The battle lasts about 3 minutes, consuming enormous metabolic energy. Both are breathing heavily, but neither side will let go. The serval changes tactics. It seeks the bird's neck position. This is the cat family's familiar killing technique, the suffocating bite. The secretary bird senses danger. It struggles to escape, but the cat's weight presses heavily. Wings no longer have space to swing. The serval seizes the bird's neck. Fangs sink deep, not piercing completely, but clamping tight. The goal is to cut off oxygen. Time decides life and death. The bird lies on the ground, wings spread wide on the dry earth. It's still alive, but no longer has strength to continue fighting. The cat still holds the bird's neck tight. It doesn't loosen. The struggling weakens with each second. each breath, until the body is motionless. After about 5 minutes, all movement ceases. The warrior has fallen. The opportunist wins, not through strength, but through tactics. The serval releases the bird. It's exhausted. Victory has come, but the price is very high. Energy expended equivalent to many days of normal hunting. It doesn't eat the bird. Instead, it drags out the snake, the original meal, the reason for the conflict. It eats hurriedly before others appear. 15 minutes later, vultures land. They clean up what remains. Here, nothing is wasted. The cycle continues. Prey stealing is common behavior in Africa. Hyenas steal from leopards. Lions steal leopard kills. Survival becomes more difficult. But this behavior is full of risk. About half the time, the thief gets injured, 1/5 end in death. The price to pay is very high. Climate change makes food sources scarcer. Competition increases. Prey theft occurs more frequently. Mortality rates also rise. Both servals and secretary birds are species that need conservation. Their numbers are declining as habitats increasingly shrink. As the sun sets over the Serengeti, the grassland gradually quiets again. The cat has left. Vultures have flown away. Only traces of battle remain on the sand. In the harsh reality of the African bush, the line between hunter and prey is always fragile. The thief can become the executioner. No heroes, no villains, only creatures trying to survive by any means and any tactics possible. And in the silence of the Serengeti night, one law still silently operates. Nature doesn't judge. Nature only selects. The wiser one, the luckier one, the one still alive. East African savanna. Early morning. Mist clings to grass tips. Beneath a flat rock near a shrub, something begins to stir in the darkness. This is a land where every creature carries a weapon. Fangs, claws, speed, mass, and sometimes the smallest weapon is the most dangerous. And among all venomous species in Africa, there's one that even lions cannot completely ignore when they appear on the same ground. This is the story of two species. One dominates through strength and numbers. One dominates through speed and venom. And what happens when they meet? Black mamba, Africa's largest venomous snake and the world's fastest snake. Average length 2.5 to 4.5 meters. The name black mamba doesn't come from scale color. Their scales are actually grayish-green to olive brown. The name comes from the pitch black color inside the mouth, which they display when threatened. Black mamba movement speed reaches 19 to 20 kilometers per hour on the ground. This is the highest speed of any snake species on the planet. Black mamba venom is a mixture of neurotoxins and cardiotoxins. attacking both nervous and cardiovascular systems simultaneously, with a mortality rate near 100% within 7 to 15 hours. In a single bite, a black mamba can inject 100 to 400 milligrams of venom, while the lethal dose requires only about 10 to 15 milligrams. Black mambas don't actively hunt large animals. They eat mainly rats, small birds, and lizards. However, when threatened, they don't flee, but face threats directly. When cornered, a black mamba raises the front third of its body off the ground, opens its mouth, displaying the black interior. This is the final warning before attack. In a confrontation, black mambas can bite repeatedly multiple times rather than just once before retreating. This is a distinct difference from many other venomous snakes. Black mambas inhabit open ground, sparse shrubland, and forest edges, also where lions often rest during the day, causing the two species' territories to naturally overlap. Lions don't actively seek snakes. However, the two species still encounter each other because they share living space. One misplaced step, a snake awakened, and that's enough. Midday, a lion lies resting beside an acacia trunk, less than 2 meters away. A black mamba emerges from a rock crevice to bask in the sun. The lion stands. This isn't fear, but a snake avoidance reflex deeply embedded in the nervous systems of many large mammals. The black mamba raises its head, displays its black mouth, body coiled lightly behind the head, ready. It doesn't slither away. It stands its ground, appearing much larger. The lion stands still, observing, not advancing, not retreating. In lion prides, the mamba is a species that young ones learn to avoid very early. After a few minutes, the black mamba begins slithering in another direction, not hurried, not panicked, simply choosing to leave on its own terms. The lion doesn't pursue or attack. In nature, a confrontation ending without casualties is the optimal outcome for both. But not every encounter ends in silence. When inexperienced young lions curiously approach black mambas, that's another danger. Lion cubs don't yet understand the black mamba's warning signals. They advance step by step, crossing the safety threshold without realizing the risk. The mother lioness detects this in time and rushes over, using her body to push the cub out of striking range before the mamba can react. Facing an adult lion, the black mamba changes its decision. It retreats, then slithers quickly into nearby bushes. Danger temporarily passes. But there's another species in Africa that doesn't view the black mamba with cautious or avoidant eyes. The honey badger, the world's most fearless animal. Honey badgers stand only about 11 inches tall, roughly 2.5 feet long, and weigh around 35 pounds. But their back skin is 6 millimeters thick and tough enough to resist snake fangs. Honey badger immune systems can resist venom from many snake species, including some cobras. With black mambas, the level of venom resistance is still being studied. The black mamba detects the honey badger When the distance is about 4 meters, it raises its head, displays its black mouth, and hisses a warning. The honey badger continues approaching. The honey badger closes in. The mamba strikes the shoulder on the first attempt. This amount of venom is enough to kill a goat within minutes. The honey badger jerks, staggers, then collapses. The black mamba slithers away. This is natural response after biting. Venom will do the rest. But with honey badgers, the story doesn't end there. About 20 to 30 minutes later, the honey badger begins to move, slowly at first, then faster. It stands up, shakes its head, and continues moving in the direction the mamba left. This behavior has been documented many times in South Africa and Kenya. Honey badgers recover from black mamba venom, then continue pursuing the snake by hunting instinct. The black mamba has moved over 100 meters and lies resting under low shrubs. When it detects the honey badger still approaching, the situation becomes unusual for it. The mamba bites a second time when the honey badger closes in, this time hitting the neck area. The honey badger falls again. The snake immediately climbs a nearby low tree. This time, the honey badger takes longer to recover, but eventually stands after about 45 minutes and looks up to where the mamba is hiding. The mamba leaves the tree and slithers faster than before. This is the true speed of the world's fastest snake when deciding to retreat. Distance gradually increases. The honey badger can't catch up. It stops, sniffs the air, then turns in another direction. No clear winner. Both still alive and continuing their day. Very few species can endure 2 black mamba bites, fall twice, and still stand up. The honey badger doesn't win, but the mamba can't defeat it either. The question isn't whether the black mamba can win. The issue is what victory means when neither needs to destroy the other to continue existing. In nature, a victory has only one definition: still alive the next day. Today, both black mamba and honey badger meet that criterion. Black mambas are distributed across over 20 sub-Saharan African countries. They're not yet critically endangered, but habitat loss and killing out of fear are shrinking their range. In most encounters between humans and black mambas, snakes choose to escape first. They only attack when there's no escape route. Lions know to avoid mambas. Honey badgers know how to cope. Both accumulate experience over generations of coexistence, contributing to maintaining natural balance. Black mambas don't need to defeat lions. They only need to be respected enough not to be stepped on. Over millions of years of evolution, that rule has been effectively established. Evening descends on the savanna. The black mamba slithers back to its familiar resting spot beneath the flat rock where it left this morning. The circle of one day closes. In darkness beneath the rock, the mamba coils. Body temperature drops with the surrounding ground. Nervous system gradually shifting to resting state, awaiting the light of a new day. Black mambas aren't Africa's most dangerous species by actual statistics. Crocodiles, hippos, and even mosquitoes cause more deaths each year. Venom isn't a tool of conquest, but a means of survival. For millions of years, it's helped mambas exist alongside the king of the grasslands. And that is enough. The early morning mist blankets the Masai Mara Valley, turning everything into silent, drifting shadows. The sun has not yet risen, but the savanna has already begun to stir. The call of a hornbill rings out, followed by the chorus of insects layering one upon another like a familiar symphony every morning. The savanna is shifting before the dawn. The ground begins to vibrate faintly. From the other side of the valley, a massive dark mass appears. A herd of African buffalo moving slowly through the early morning mist. Among the forest of legs and horns, calves are struggling to keep pace with the herd. Born less than a week ago, they are fragile, yet always kept within the fold. The African buffalo is the largest wild bovine on the continent. A fully grown adult can weigh up to 900 kilograms, and the fused horns at the top of the head form a hard shield, making them a formidable opponent. They live in large herds of several dozen to several hundred, constantly on the move in search of grass and water. The strength of a buffalo herd together is nearly impenetrable. But newborn calves are the weakest link, weighing less than 40 kilograms. Their legs still tremble when running, and entirely dependent on their mother's milk. They are the perfect prey for every predator. In the first weeks of life, African buffalo calves face an extremely high mortality rate. Predators such as lions, hyenas, and leopards are always lurking. For that reason, the mother buffalo rarely leaves the calf's side. She always positions herself between the calf and the outer edge of the herd, constantly looking back to check. This morning, the herd is heading toward the Mara River to drink. It is a familiar journey, but never a safe one, especially for the calves. And the buffalo herd is not the only group moving toward the river this morning. On the high ridge to the east, rounded ears are pricked upright, and amber eyes are tracking every step of the herd. A pride of lions has been lying low in the tall grass, watching the buffalo since before sunrise. To understand the tactic, one must know that lions rarely attack adult buffalo if a better option exists. Their target is always the weakest individual in the herd. The lion is the only big cat that hunts in groups. When facing African buffalo, they create panic to fracture the herd, then isolate any calf that falls behind. The jaws and claws of a lion can bring down prey, but the horns of a buffalo can also pierce a lion's abdomen in a single charge. This is a game where both sides can pay with their lives. The pride splits into two directions. One group swings left, another holds the right, while those at the rear stand ready to press in and drive the prey herd into a position where it can be pursued. The buffalo herd continues grazing calmly, unaware of the danger, but an old bull standing at the edge of the herd suddenly raises his head. His nose has caught something on the wind. He lets out a sharp snort, a first-level warning signal. A few nearby individuals raise their heads, but not enough to trigger a full herd response. And the lions understand that the window of opportunity is closing. The lion pride launches its attack. 4 subadults charge straight into the edge of the buffalo herd with a thunderous roar. The goal is not to kill, but to create chaos. The buffalo herd erupts in panic. Hundreds of animals surge forward, hooves pounding the earth like rolling thunder. Red dust rises in thick clouds, obscuring everything from sight. In the midst of the chaos, a small calf is left behind. 2 lionesses break from opposite sides. One lioness seizes the calf's hindquarters and drags it down. The other leaps onto its back and pins it. A piercing cry rings out, not only from pain, but as a distress call. The mother buffalo turns back first. She charges against the flow of the fleeing herd, horns lowered, eyes blazing red. Alone, she drives straight into the lioness, pinning her calf to the ground. The first charge hurls one lioness off. The other is forced to release the calf and back away. The mother buffalo stands in front of her calf, breathing hard, full of menace. Then the ground begins to shake, not from the footsteps of lions, but from the direction of the herd. The distress call has reached exactly where it needed to. Dozens of adult buffalo are turning back, and they are not moving slowly. The herd descends like a flood. 20, 30, then 40 individuals form a line, horns lowered, turning the grassland into an unstoppable force. The lion pride immediately recognizes that the situation has reversed. From attackers, they have become the targets of the buffalo herd. The herd encircles the area. They form a ring around the mother and calf, horns pointing outward in every direction, creating a defensive wall with no gaps. The lioness is sent rolling, lying there panting. She is not badly injured, but hurt enough to understand that the hunt is over. The lion pride retreats one by one. They walk slowly, maintaining a composed appearance. But in reality, they have lost all control of the situation. Today, the feast does not belong to them. The buffalo herd holds its formation for a few more minutes. This caution is the product of millions of years of evolution, only breaking position when safety is certain. The mother buffalo lowers her head and licks the scrapes on her calf's body. When the danger has passed, the African buffalo herd continues its journey toward the Masai Mara. The calf is placed at the center, surrounded by multiple adults. The entire herd slows its pace to match the short steps of the young one. That is the price of protection, sacrificing speed to keep every member whole. In the distance, the lion pride rests in the shade of a tree. They will return tomorrow, for the cycle of hunting never stops. On the Masai Mara Savannah, there is no permanent victory. There is only a survival repeated day after day between predator and prey. Research shows that buffalo calves in large herds have survival rates 3 times higher than those in small herds. When the herd is large enough, lions have almost no chance of success. But climate change and habitat loss are fragmenting buffalo herds. The smaller the herd, the weaker the collective strength, and the more vulnerable the calves become. Every calf that survives today will grow up to become part of the protective wall tomorrow. The cycle of protection continues through each generation. That is how the African buffalo has endured for millions of years. The herd reaches the riverbank. Cool water flows around their legs, and the calf cautiously steps to the water's edge for the first time, while the mother stands close beside it, not moving an inch away. Today, the riverbank is quiet. The calf has drunk its fill. It has just survived the most dangerous day of its early life. As the evening light paints the Masai Mara red, the African buffalo herd begins moving back toward the tall grass. Hundreds of individuals walk in the same rhythm, forming a moving, living wall. The calf tucks itself against its mother's flank, within the embrace of the herd. In nature, no creature is strong enough to survive alone. And sometimes, the most resilient line of defense is built not from individual strength, but from the presence of an entire community. Kalahari, the world's largest red sand desert, stretching more than 900,000 square kilometers across 3 countries, where temperatures swing 60 degrees Celsius between day and night. And every creature that exists here has paid its tuition through evolution. A world where countless species coexist, hunt, and multiply among the blazing red dunes with no trace of water, the largest semi-arid ecosystem on the planet. Beneath the still cool red sand of dawn, meerkats let out short, sharp calls, signaling the start of a new day with a land's relentless battle for survival. High above, the Martial eagle circles wide on thermals rising from the red sand, its wingspan nearly 2.5 meters, eyes reading every movement on the ground from an altitude where humans can see nothing at all. Below, a herd of oryx moves slowly along a dry riverbed, while springbok leap high in bursts as if challenging the heat already pressing down. Among the dry thorn bushes, meerkats stand upright, absorbing warmth after a night that dropped to 5 degrees Celsius. A black mamba coils beneath a rock, waiting for the temperature to rise, while a male lion lies still in the shade of an acacia. When the extreme dry season arrives, Kalahari changes hour by hour. Temperatures climb until the line between life and death is only the width of a patch of shade. 9 months of drought, daytime temperatures exceeding 45 degrees Celsius in the air and 70 degrees on the sand surface, nights dropping to 5 degrees. Kalahari becomes the harshest land on the continent. Oryx raise their body temperature rather than lose water. The brain cooled separately by a specialized vascular system. Meerkats retreat into the cool earth below, and lions lie motionless, waiting for the sun to fall. In Kalahari, no species stands outside the cycle of heat and scarcity. Predator, prey, and 70-degree sand are always the 3 final deciding factors. And the winner is not the strongest, but the one that has evolved strangely enough to survive here. Welcome to Kalahari, the world's largest red sand desert, where survivors are not chosen by strength or speed, but by the only thing that matters, the ability to adapt to what is unbearable. If Kalahari has an ambassador, it is not the magnificent black-maned lion, not the proud, long-horned oryx. It is a 700-gram creature that stands upright on its hind legs every morning. Meerkats are immune to the venom of cobras and scorpions, the two most dangerous species in Kalahari. Their skin is unusually thick. Their nervous system reacts faster than the venom can spread. They are among the most courageous creatures on this planet. By eliminating snakes and scorpions, they protect dozens of other species that have no immunity, maintaining balance at the ground-level ecological layer that no other species can replace. Meerkats have no rigid hierarchy, but rotate responsibilities. Each day, one individual stands guard and scans the surroundings. When danger appears, the entire group vanishes into the burrow in seconds. But now they are steadily losing their territory, as extreme drought causes burrow systems to collapse. The dry, loose soil is no longer stable enough to maintain the deep tunnels the entire group depends on. If Serengeti has the king of the grassland, then Kalahari has the black-maned lion. They stand out not for their size or speed, but for the dark mane that reflects their physical condition, heat tolerance, and history of harsh survival. In the dry season, Kalahari lions may need to travel around 20 kilometers each night to find prey. They hunt in darkness across dry sand where footprints and scents are quickly erased by the wind. Their presence does not only threaten prey, but shapes the entire ecosystem. Oryx and springbok are forced to keep moving, avoiding lingering too long in areas with a high risk of ambush. Kalahari lions hunt differently from their relatives on the green savanna. With no thickets or water sources to drive prey into a corner, they rely on endurance and patience, sometimes tracking a target for 5 to 6 continuous hours. The Kalahari lion, one of the most harshly adapted populations in Africa, is declining due to conflict with humans. When natural prey becomes scarce, they are forced to hunt livestock and are frequently poisoned or killed in retaliation. If Kalahari has a symbol of defiance, it is the oryx. This antelope possesses horns longer than 80 centimeters, can survive where water is scarce, endure brutal heat, and hold its ground against a lion. Oryx can allow their body temperature to rise significantly while still protecting the brain. They achieve this through a specialized heat exchange mechanism that cools the blood before it flows to the brain. When digging for water-bearing tubers and roots beneath the sand, oryx inadvertently create countless small hollows. These depressions retain moisture better overnight, forming microhabitats for many species of insects, reptiles, and small plants. When a lion approaches, oryx typically do not flee immediately. They turn to face it, lower their horns, and hold a defensive position because their speed is not sufficient to guarantee escape, while the longhorns are an effective weapon. When migration corridors disappear, oryx herds become isolated in ever-shrinking areas. Food sources are quickly exhausted, their bodies gradually weaken, and they become far easier targets. But Kalahari does not belong only to the large creatures. When night falls and temperatures plunge tens of degrees within a few hours, another world begins to awaken, the secret world of nocturnal life. Midnight, temperature at 8 degrees Celsius. The oryx herd has been moving since late afternoon, searching for a new food source, unaware that 2 lionesses have been tracking them for 4 hours without making a single sound. The first lioness approaches from upwind, ensuring the oryx cannot catch her scent. The second lioness swings wide to the left to cut off the retreat route. One oryx raises its head, ears rotate, nostrils flare. Kalahari holds its breath for 3 seconds, and those 3 seconds decide the entire outcome of this 4-hour hunt. Just 1 second of a wind shift is enough to carry the lion's scent to the oryx herd. The entire group instantly breaks formation and bolts in the direction that millions of years of evolution have carved into their survival instinct. The final strike, not at the throat as the grassland lion would, because on soft sand there is not enough traction for a prolonged struggle, and this, is the most efficient way to end it. The survivor of tonight is not necessarily the fastest, but the one who reacted at the right moment. In Kalahari, just a few seconds of hesitation after detecting danger is enough to turn a chance of escape into an irreversible failure. And the one who falls will not be wasted. Hyenas will follow the scent of blood, vultures will appear at dawn, and before midday, Kalahari will have returned everything to the cycle of life. The sun rises again, temperatures begin to climb, and the meerkat group pokes its heads above the burrow entrance, beginning a new day as though nothing happened last night. In Kalahari, that is the definition of survival. Everything you have just witnessed is not a collection of separate stories. Kalahari is a living organism, and every species must find its own answer to the same question. How do you survive in a place where everything is trying to kill you? Meerkats control venomous creatures. Lions control the herbivore herds. Oryx maintain micromoisture and scatter seeds. When even one link weakens, the entire system loses its balance. Kalahari is not a dead desert. It is a living desert, home to more than 400 species of birds, 1,500 species of plants, and an underground system more complex than any city humans have ever built. All of it on a bed of red sand with no water. And when one link disappears, it is not just one species that is lost. A 10 million year evolutionary equation is erased, and no amount of time is long enough to rewrite it from the beginning. But the most dangerous creature in Kalahari cannot endure 45-degree heat for more than 2 hours without air conditioning. It arrives in trucks, erects fences, and drills wells. Interventions whose consequences reach far beyond a single generation. The Sand People, the indigenous community that has been bound to Kalahari for tens of thousands of years, were once forced off their ancestral land to make way for tourism, conservation, and extraction, even though they are the ones who understand this land most deeply. The cost does not belong to nature alone. As vegetation declines and sand is no longer held stable, agricultural land in Botswana, Namibia, and South Africa may face increasing pressure from erosion, drought, and ecological degradation. When the lion's roar dissolves into the cold, early morning air, when the oryx vanishes into the heat shimmer, when the meerkats retreat underground, Kalahari returns to its ancient rhythm, slow, precise, and leaving no room for error. The question that remains is not only what we have seen, but what will happen if the species chosen to adapt here slowly disappear. When that day comes, who will keep Kalahari running as a world still alive? What will we have left when Kalahari is no longer red? When the sand is no longer hot because there is nothing left to scorch, and no more strange creatures strong enough to stand upright and face the sun each morning. Kalahari is still here, still red, still hot, still ruthlessly filtering every creature that enters it. But the question is how much longer? And the answer no longer lies in nature alone. It increasingly rests in human hands. If this journey has made you look again at arid lands, once dismissed as worthless, then perhaps Kalahari has done the most important thing of all, forced us to look more carefully at life in a place where life seemed impossible. And until next time, at the next brutal survival arenas, where nature does not ask if you are ready, and the answer must come before the question has a chance to be asked. Sand surface temperature has exceeded 60 degrees. Air bent, turning everything distant into mirages flowing blurred on the horizon. Yellow scorpion seeks shade, nestling into rock crevice to avoid sun. Outside, under high-temperature rocks begin cracking from thermal expansion. Heat presses down on Sonoran like invisible weight. Owl hides in tree trunk avoiding sun. Under thornbush, jackrabbit presses flat to ground, dilating blood vessels in ears to radiate heat. But beneath scorching sand layer, ground surface shifts slightly. Horned lizard emerges, dusting sand with transparent eyelids before stepping into heat level. All other species are avoiding. It possesses osteoderm armor layer, helping adapt to harsh heat. Red ants crawl across nose and head spikes, while its body not yet warm enough to react. Tongue flicks out extremely fast, rolling up each ant, then swallowing whole. On dessert, energy-conserving hunting strategy, more important than pursuit speed. Horned lizard walks, and at cholla bush edge, another movement appears. Small burrow entrance stirs. Two long whiskers poke out, sensing ground vibrations. Desert mouse stands motionless before burrow entrance, only ears continuously rotating, detecting sounds. After seconds of vigilance, it finally steps into dangerous open space. Long hind legs help it leap far and change direction instantly. It dashes between mesquite bushes, exposing itself on bare sand surface. It's searching for seeds, but never losing vigilance about surrounding environment. For desert rodents, danger typically comes from above. Above, two golden eagles glide on thermal currents, barely needing to flap wings. They've appeared since ground began absorbing heat. With vision 8 times human, plus talons creating grip force over 2,800 pounds per square inch. Golden eagle has locked tight on small brown dot between two bushes right when it left burrow. Eagle tilts wings, adjusting descent trajectory, calculating wind and prey's running direction. Wrong angle causes failure and wastes energy on desert. On ground, mouse detects round shadow advancing on sand. Immediately flees, changing direction, lunging toward a rock maze instead of running straight to familiar burrow. Eagle talons stab into sand where mouse just stood. It watches prey. Mouse continues running, carrying first trace, opening hunting signal. Mouse rushes into maze of stacked granite rocks, making eagle unable to approach. Shade reduces heat significantly, but this terrain is also shelter for other predator species. Rock rattlesnake has necrotic venom. Thanks to heat pit, it detects mouse through very small temperature difference before seeing and begins rattling tail. Mouse freezes. Ahead is snake. Behind is eagle. But instead of panicking, it calculates escape chance when snake strikes and misses, needing about 3 seconds to coil back. Opportunity will open. Mouse creates vibration, stimulating snake to strike first. When strike lunges forward, it leaps sideways, then passes through narrow gap in very short time. Right then, eagle lunges into rock gap following mouse direction. Large movement brings it into defense reflex range of agitated snake. Snake launches second strike. Fangs only graze eagle's chest feathers, forcing predator to spring back out, yielding rock maze to true owner. Mouse escapes maze from west side. It breathes heavily, legs beginning to feel heavy. Ahead is bare sand plain, but behind is pursuing eagle. Two eagles coordinate above. One forces direction, the other waits ready at strike angle, creating pincer position, leading mouse right into attack trajectory. Cactus branch makes it slip slightly, but it still struggles to keep running, driven into talon range, diving down from about 30 meters height. Just as the talons were about to make contact, the mouse spotted the hollow skull. Its hind legs kicked off, and it changed direction, diving straight in and vanishing as the talons snapped shut over the top of the cranium. The skull creates a natural shelter. The narrow eye sockets prevent the eagle's beak from reaching deep inside, while the bone layer keeps the temperature significantly lower than the open sand. Eagle perches on skull, continuously pecking into open gaps, but mouse still lies deep inside skull cavity. Tug of war between desert's strongest and hollow skull begins. 5 minutes. Sun scorches sand surface, but skull remains cool thanks to heat reflection and light convection. Meanwhile, eagle must continuously shift feet to force mouse to run out. After 10 minutes, one perched on cactus begins losing patience, scanning for other targets, while the other pecks one last time, but still powerless before skull. Finally, eagles fly away in turn, abandoning energy-draining hunt, leaving skull in desert midst with mouse still alive inside. Mouse pokes whiskers from eye socket, checking vibrations and shadows on sand, then crawls out, dusts sand from fur, and runs to nearest burrow. Escape ends. By reflexes faster than eagle talons, body twist making snake misstrike, and a hollow skull lying right where no one expected. Eagles have ascended high again, and eyes still scanning. From afar, they detect new movement racing fast among cactus bushes. Zebra-tailed lizard, running at 30 kilometers per hour speed, black-white stripes bobbing. Being pursued by collared lizard, specialist eating smaller kindred, chasing behind. Collared lizard, with large head and powerful jaw force, completely focused on prey ahead, not at all recognizing predator shadow marked on sand. Zebra-tailed lizard dives underground. Pursuer behind stops in open area. It halts observing but doesn't see prey anywhere. Above, eagle has locked target early, waiting for exact moment lizard stops in open ground to dive from most advantageous attack angle. Collared lizard hears wind whistle behind, but reacts slowly. Body too hot, after chase making legs lose half speed. 2 meters become unreachable distance. Eagle talons clamp tight around lizard body and lift it from sand surface. Amid open space, with no rock gaps or shelter, all escape chances vanish. Eagle carries prey flying to nest on large cactus tree, while zebra-tailed lizard silently stays under sand, surviving by being faster than what once hunted it. Eagle perches on cactus tree feeding its young. Lost small mouse but gained larger prey instead. Enough one meal for its offspring. Desert food chain continues operating. Seeds feed mouse, insects feed lizard, lizard feeds eagle. Then decomposing carcass returns nutrients to soil and plants. Horned lizard lies pressed on warm rock after eating enough ants. Bone armor layer protects body, while blood squirting ability helps drive away many predator species. In cool burrow, mouse is moving, thanks to extremely efficient water concentrating kidney system, helping it live almost without needing to drink water amid arid desert. Rattlesnake still coiled. Slow metabolism helps it fast many days. Waiting for temperature to drop, then begins night hunting with heat pit. Dusk touches Sonoran. Sunlight gradually shifts to orange-red, while desert rocks begin radiating heat, absorbed throughout the long day. Desert changes shifts. Horned lizard prepares to bury itself in sand. Eagle stops hunting. Scorpion leaves rock crevice, and mouse pokes whiskers out burrow entrance again. Now is safest time. Rattlesnake crawls from maze, continuously flicking tongue and scanning heat. Where once was daytime shelter, now becomes nighttime hunting ground. Sonoran Desert spans over 300,000 square kilometers. With extreme temperature range, creatures here must adapt to daytime heat or nighttime cold to survive. Each species carries unique survival strategy, but all adaptations have limits. No one is perfect, only the most suitable. In nature, evolution has armed every species with its own tools for survival, from fangs and horns to venom and adaptive strategies. Among them, keratin claws appear across nearly every ecosystem, from aerial predators to giants that roam the land. Each claw has evolved to match a specific lifestyle. Some to tear flesh, some to dig, others to grip prey with deadly precision. And when we ask which claws are the most dangerous, the answer does not lie with lions or tigers, but with species we least expect. In the rainforests of South America, the giant anteater moves slowly through the undergrowth, weighing around 40 kilograms, seemingly harmless in appearance. It has no teeth. Its diet consists mainly of ants and termites. At first glance, it appears to be one of the forest's most defenseless creatures. But look at its forefeet. 4 sickle-shaped claws, nearly 10 centimeters long, powerful enough to tear open termite mounds as hard as concrete. When threatened, the anteater rises onto its hind legs, spreading its forelimbs. In this stance, its claws become lethal weapons. These claws can rip through a leopard's flesh. There are documented cases of giant anteaters killing leopards during confrontations. On the other side of the world, deep in the rainforests of Queensland, Australia, an ancient bird moves silently across the damp forest floor. The cassowary, Casuarius casuarius. Standing up to 1.8 meters tall and weighing 60 kilograms, its most terrifying weapon is not its size, but its feet. The middle toe bears a dagger-like claw measuring up to 12 centimeters. When it kicks, all the force is focused onto this razor-sharp point. The impact is comparable to a professional boxer's punch, but concentrated into a far smaller area, enough to pierce flesh or cause severe internal injuries. The cassowary is considered the most dangerous bird on Earth, fearless of humans and willing to attack when threatened. In the mountains and forests of North America, the grizzly bear roams in search of food, weighing up to 300 kilograms and possessing overwhelming strength. Grizzly claws range from 5 to 10 centimeters in length. Unlike feline claws, they cannot retract and remain in constant contact with the ground, providing superior grip for digging and movement. These claws are used to unearth roots and insects, but when necessary, they instantly become deadly weapons. A single swipe from a grizzly's paw can shatter the ribs of large animals. Combined with immense mass and muscle, it is a devastating blow. In the world of big cats, claws follow a very different design. Lions, tigers, and leopards possess fully retractable claws hidden within protective sheaths. This mechanism keeps the claws razor sharp by preventing wear during walking. When hunting, muscles and tendons extend the claws, turning the paws into perfect weapons. A tiger's claws can reach 10 centimeters in length. Combined with a bite force of over 1,000 psi, they form a lethal partnership. Claws to hold, jaws to kill. Yet even more remarkable is a smaller cat, the caracal. Weighing around 15 kilograms, it possesses extraordinarily agile and precise claws. The caracal can leap up to 3 meters from a standing position, snatching birds out of the air mid-flight. A rare and astonishing skill. Above the rainforest canopy, another predator soars. The harpy eagle, Harpia harpia, the largest eagle in the Americas, with a wingspan nearing 2 meters. Its true weapons lie in its legs, where talons measuring 10 to 13 centimeters rival those of a grizzly bear, the most powerful of any bird. The crushing grip of a harpy eagle can exceed 300 kilograms per square centimeter, enough to shatter the skulls of monkeys or sloths in seconds. Harpy eagles hunt within dense forest canopies, weaving through branches at speed, guided by exceptional vision and flawless aerial control. Each species has evolved claws suited precisely to its environment and way of life. There is no single, most dangerous claw, only the most effective design. Grizzlies use claws to dig, harpy eagles to crush, anteaters to break. By 2026, many of these species face increasing threats from habitat loss, poaching, and global climate change. Claws stand as living proof of evolutionary power. Millions of years spent refining every detail to create perfect tools for survival. Because behind every claw lies a story of adaptation, instinct, and the intricate beauty of nature, a lesson humanity is still learning.